This is iTech Everything, with the review of the 11.6-inch MacBook Air. So let's get started. This is the 11.6-inch MacBook Air that Apple released in late 2010. So let's go over the specs. It has a 1.4 GHz Intel Core 2 Duo. It also has 2 gigs of RAM standard and 64 gigs of flash storage. Now, I've actually paid an additional $100 or so and upgraded my MacBook Air to 4 gigs of RAM. So this is 1.4 GHz Core 2 Duo, 4 gigs of RAM, and 64 gig SSD. So yeah, let's get into the review. First, I want to talk about software. Well, what software do you get with this bad boy? Well, as some of you may know who have Macs or know about Macs, you actually get all of iLife. Now, I'm not going to demo the actual iLife apps themselves, but I may do so in a future video. And basically, it comes with iMovie, iPhoto, GarageBand, plus iWeb and iDVD. And they all, well, the one I mainly use is iPhoto and iMovie, and they're great apps. Also, for operating system, it comes with macOS 10 Snow Leopard, and with the latest software update, you actually have the Mac App Store on here, so that's pretty cool for downloading apps. And as you can see here, I've actually bought iWork, which is Apple's like equivalent to Microsoft Office, I suppose. So if we just zoom in here, you can see that I have Pages, Numbers, and Keynote. Now, these don't actually come on it, but you can buy them at an additional charge. So yeah, now let's get on to speed. Now, the MacBook Air, let's face it guys, it has a pretty crappy processor. 1.4 GHz Core 2 Duo in 2011, some would think is not acceptable. And it turns out for heavy duty tasks, yeah, this thing is a bit slow. But for general use, such as launching applications, browsing the web, I can honestly say it's very fast. So yeah, this laptop's really fast for launching applications and general tasks. What it is slow for is movie editing. I've found photo editing and other stuff quite fast on this machine. So let's go ahead and launch Safari, and we'll see how long that takes to load. As you can see, it pops right out of the dock. We'll zoom in on the screen for you guys. Loads instantly. Let's go ahead and go to my YouTube channel. youtube.com/iTechEverything, and we'll hit enter. And there you go guys, that is pretty fast browsing. Just a note also while we're on the topic of Safari, these MacBook Airs, these bad boys, don't come pre-installed with Flash. So if you want to watch YouTube, etc., you're going to need to download Flash from Adobe. Now let's talk about the webcam, or as Apple call it, the FaceTime camera. Now, the quality of the FaceTime camera in the MacBook Air is not too impressive. It's actually a VGA camera. Unlike the new 2011 MacBook Pros, which have HD FaceTime cameras, this one actually has a VGA one. And while the quality looks alright, it doesn't look the best. Now let's talk about the keyboard and trackpad. Now, the Apple keyboards in general, some of the most comfy to use keyboards. I simply love typing on them. They have a really good click to them, and they have the perfect positioning for your hands to sit, and just really comfortable typing experience overall. Now, one thing you'll notice about this keyboard, it's really great, just saying that. So if we zoom in, you'll see that the function keys are actually half size. But apart from that, it's a full size keyboard. Just thought I'd point that out. So overall impressed with the keyboard, but it is not backlit. All of Apple's other notebooks have backlit keyboards apart from the MacBook Air and the white plastic MacBook. This is quite frankly unacceptable in its price range, and it should have a backlit keyboard, and I'm almost guaranteeing the next version will. Now let's get on to the trackpad. Now here's the trackpad in the MacBook Air. As you can see, it's pretty big compared to other comparable laptops out there, even big laptops from HP, Dell, etc. It is a little smaller than the MacBook Pro, MacBook, and 13-inch MacBook Air trackpads. Just a little bit, but it's more than usable for all your gestures and just general scrolling. I've had no problems with the trackpad. Now let's talk about portability. Now, if you're buying a MacBook Air, you are probably buying it for this factor. The MacBook Air is just such a portable machine. It weighs just over 1 kilo, I believe, and yeah, it's really, really light. You can just throw this in your bag. Yeah, it's very portable. And look how thin it is, guys. It's only a little thicker, I believe, than the iPhone 4. So yeah, it's a very, very thin laptop and very lightweight, so good for travelers out there who require a laptop. Now we're going to talk ports. On the right hand side of the MacBook Air, you'll find a mini display port and a USB 2.0 port. Going around the left hand side of the MacBook Air, you'll find your headset jack, one more USB 2 port, and the MagSafe connector for charging your laptop. As you can see, there is no Thunderbolt slash light peak that are on the new MacBook Pros. This will most likely be added when this product is refreshed. And it's pretty limited connectivity, no FireWire, only 2 USB ports. So yeah, pretty limited connectivity. So, who is the target market for this MacBook Air? Who would I recommend it to? Travelers, bloggers, people who just like a light laptop, people who don't like iPads, yeah, basically all that. If you don't require a MacBook Pro and you don't want an iPad, then yeah, this is pretty cool. However, if you already have a MacBook Pro and an iPad or an iMac and an iPad, this is definitely not something you should buy, as it is pretty pointless if you have a MacBook Pro and an iPad. So, of course, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/itecheverything. Of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give me a like, and drop a comment below what computer do you guys have. And I'll see you guys in the next video.